Hey, no, I already told you, I don't care about your prototype. Oh, advisor, sure, right.
Let me tell you a story. Persze. Felső részre kellett mellem menni, kicseszett jó. De nem!
Előfordul, hogy eszembe jutsz munka közben nincs egyszerűen elérzékenyül.
It's going to get up in that time.
Vagy a dolgokba változik. De is gondolsz, hogy irányítani. Másra nem tudom végig csinálni. Én csak a...
That's what the Kennedy fucking... What's the...
Az érzés. Élvezetek nyújt, ha megadászol. Kezdetet rám vagyok. Akkor igenis komolyan lesz. Nem. Megyek készítek vacsorát.
Alrighty, you guys, so we finally got TDX's brand new Assault Mode update for their Christmas event. And, you know, Christmas time in January, late January at that, a little weird, but hey, let's give the event a shot, right? I gave it a shot, multiple shots, and, I gotta be honest with you guys. Past my, like, first, 2-3 events, or playthroughs of this event, I just don't get it. It's so boring. I can't get behind Assault Mode, and I'm sorry. I really wanted to like it. If y'all saw my last TDX video, you know I really wanted TDX to have a win, because after Nightmare Mode, the game's updates were consistently pretty poor in my opinion, and it just did not get that much better with Assault Mode. I will say Assault Mode was an improvement upon Part 1. That being said, it still falls short in a lot of the same ways that Part 1 did. Namely the fact that the entire Assault Mode gimmick is just bad. It's just not a good mechanic. See, going into Assault Mode, I was really excited, as I was like, wow, Assault Mode's gonna be this brand new game mode we've never seen in a tower defense game. It's gonna have capturing objectives, you know, being more on the offensive end of tower defense, because, you know, go figure the name Assault Mode. I figured it was gonna be us capturing zones to move up our line, instead of us defending and having them come capture our zones. And the reason why I do not like this mechanic is because it fundamentally does not change almost anything about regular tower defense gameplay. Because by us still being on the defense, it's still just a regular tower defense mode. Except for the fact that, oh, they capture a zone, enemies will come out a little bit closer to your base. But that doesn't really mean anything if you can defend at the back of the map, and that is exactly what you do in Assault Mode. There's this giant long bridge, and you can just spam snipers at the back of it, and they have incredible amounts of penetrations, and you can just obliterate everything super easily. And it got to the point to where Assault Mode, past my first few times playing the event, is just so unbelievably boring. The grind is a lot better. If y'all know me, you know I absolutely despise the Part 1 grind. The grind is fine now. I think the grind is attainable, it's not super bad, but the game mode itself is just boring. It's the exact same thing that we had with Part 1, except it's a single path map now. Because the thing with the zones is, additionally, and the fact that they don't really change much, you can't even go and recapture them. So once an enemy, basically once one enemy leaks they've completely captured that zone and you can't fight back to push your line back up. Because the thing about Assault Mode is the dynamic map was something I was really excited for, where, you know, you can push back and forth, but that just isn't a thing that happened. And, you know, sure, maybe I got my false hopes up, but there's really no difference between Assault Mode and just regular tower defense because there's no offense. I was expecting a much more diverse game type where you're having to push back and forth, and there's, you know, unlocking different zones maybe, or maybe you start off at like a beachhead and you have to push into the robot base. But it really just plays like part 1 on a single lane map. It's still not that fun. The upgrade shop, as, you know, dopey and funny as it is sometimes by using a plethora of random towers, like, sure, the fact that you can use Sniper in Nightmare Assault Mode is really funny, but at the same time, it makes it such a hard mode to balance, and that's the fundamental issue that both Part 1 and Part 2 has, is it's just not balanced. And I'm sorry, because I know I sound like such a negative Nancy, because every time I talk about TDX, it's just... Every time I talk about TDX, it's just, dang. I feel bad, I genuinely do, because I hate bashing this game, because this game is the entire reason I started up on YouTube. It is, like, why I am here, like, talking in front of y'all right now. But I just, in good faith, cannot say this update is good, because it just wasn't. It's better than Part 1, I'll give them that. It is an improvement, but coming off of updates like Nightmare Mode, it's just, it just wasn't. It's better than Part 1, I'll give them that. It is an improvement.
Tower Defense X has an...
Give them that. It is an improvement. But coming off of updates like Nightmare Mode, it just doesn't do well. TDX, in my opinion, I hate saying this, but I think TDX kind of peaked with Nightmare Mode, and that really hurts for me to say, but just TDX consistently has not been landing with the level of skill that they used to back with, even with events that were had deep flaws, like Halloween 2024. Sure, was Part 4 terrible for that event? Yes, it was bad, but the rest of that event was such a banger, and TDX just isn't recapturing that joy anymore ever since Nightmare came out. Because, you know, I said this in my last video, Shattered Moon was bad, Ultra Mode was bad, and now both parts of the Christmas event were kind of bad. And it really deeply saddens me because TDX from the beginning has always been on kind of the cutting edge of tower defense technology, so to speak, and we're just not getting that anymore. Because when you, again, looking at the Assault Mode mechanic, the entire thing that this event was built around, I was expecting something that was going to be innovative, something that was going to fundamentally change the game, and that's just not what we got. We got a normal tower defense with like one little bit of extra flair in there, but there's just not enough for me to say, oh, this is a really cool, engaging mode, because it's just not. TDX really needs to step it up, and I really, again, I feel so bad saying this, but this event was just not a win for me. And listen, again, I'm not the absolute, like what I say is not law. If you like the event, I am very glad you like the event. I would never want to take away your enjoyment. If you're enjoying it, keep enjoying the event. But even people who I know who are like diehard TDX fans, including fellow content creators or just overall friends, even they are saying that they do not like TDX that much anymore. Tickly Ryzen, a good friend of mine who helps me with some of the stuff on the Salt's Discord server, which you should totally join, by the way, even he, as one of probably my most diehard TDX fan of a friend, even he no longer much cares for TDX that much anymore because of the level of inconsistency they've had with their updates recently. And I feel bad saying this, I'm sad. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm sad. I love TDX, but I've been watching itself shoot itself in the foot over and over recently, and I just don't know what to say anymore. Because I don't see that much of a future for this game right now. It's a little up in the air as to what's going to happen with TDX in the future, and I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think, because overall, I think that...
Salt, you troglodyte. This is the best event I've ever played. I get to grind for my cookies by playing this. And in fact, this is my favorite event that I've ever touched. It's absolutely great. How could you possibly not like this?
Connection terminated. I'm sorry to interrupt you, TDXians, if you still even remember that name. But I'm afraid you've been misinformed. You are not here to receive a gift, nor have you been called here by the individual you assume, although you have indeed been called. You have all been called here, into a labyrinth of bad updates and decisions, misguidance, and miscommunication. A game with no peak, a promise with no delivering. You don't even
A betyár mindenit, hát mik ezek a negatív kommentek? Nem lett elég megalomán, ez nem is sztárkos, túl egyszerű. Hát már jó konténerszállítót se szabad építeni, de hozzáteszem, aláírom, van benne némi igazság, úgyhogy a mai részben hoztam egy igazán fantasztikus konténerszállítót, amelyet az előző részben elhintett ötletből készítettem, és itt van velem a Jack!
Hello.
Lehetne tenni rá vonatkerekeket, és akkor olyankor felillesztjük a sírre, és akkor úgy megyünk tovább. Nem tudom, amúgy ezt meg lehet csinálni. Jack, majd nagyon fontos feladatod lesz, ki kell nyitod ezt az ajtót majd, jó? A megfelelő időben, én most bezárom, és bentről fog érkezni a varázslat, jó?
Nem legyen.
Ilyen gépet még szerintem nem láttál. Maradjunk annyiban.
Aha.
Nyisd ki az ajtót, és megláthatod a csodát.
Ajtó nyílik.
Megyünk és így nekiljünk az ajtónak.
Aha.
Gyere, megyünk konténer szállítani, Jack.
És hova a frontra?
Miért?
Hey, no, I already told you, I don't.